Hey, what's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Kris Jenner, oh, we got some tea on your past. If you guys don't know, Kris settled with her bodyguard, and everybody was like, what? Kris was getting frisky with the help. Oh my God. Ooh. However, a lot of you people were like, T, so what is this tea? Y'all said y'all wanted to hear more about the way Kris, listen, Kylie, Kendall, Kim, Courtney, and Khloe all combined didn't hold a candle, right, to Kris Jenner when she was 17 years old. MJ raised that savage. What? Classy, bougie, ratchet, y'all. Kris want to sit there and look down on Black China? Baby, let's get into Kris's history. First of all, I want to thank so much. Let me get the name right. First of all, I want to thank my girls, Geneva, and also Valerie, Renee. Thank you so much for looking out for me and sending me this information. If you guys have any tips, gossip, or any subjects you want me to talk about, you guys know I have a Gmail, tsatells@gmail.com. Send me over something, all right? Also, hit that like and subscribe button. You guys know I'm trying to grow. Sometimes things are hard in these YouTube streets. I really think like I need another push. Hit that like button. If you're new to my channel, let me create some value. And then you can hit that like button on the way back. Okay, y'all get this, right? So listen, this book, right? It chronicles Kris's many affairs, okay? And interviews with the men and women who caught her in the act, as well as her childhood friend who revealed that Kris was schooled in the art of seduction under the tutelage of her mother, Mary Jo Shannon. And if illicit romances and passionate romps were not enough, Kris, there's still an unsolved 30K jewelry heist that many in the book say that Kris 100% did. Okay, so let's wind things back. They said Kris's interest in men started at a young age, according to her friends, and with a bit of assist from her mother. Oh, that's right. Her mother had her out in the streets the same way that Kris had Kim, Courtney, and all of them in the streets. Her best friend said, the way I knew Kris, she was a good person. And then something happened. This is her friend, Joan Zimmerman. She changed and we weren't seeing much of each other. She was pursuing something else. She said, I don't want to use a bad term, but I think her mom was pimping her out. The apple don't fall far from the tree, guys, okay? The sudden shift came at about 11th grade. Who prior to that had been one of Kris's closest friends. Even though she was close to Kris, Zimmerman claimed she never really got a chance to get to know Mary Jo, who at that time was married to a businessman, Harry Shannon. I knew there was a mom. I know she had rules in the house for Kris, but she never interacted with us, right? She said Kris's family was very private and Kris kind of lived within those rules. Kris's father, we never do hear about Grandpa Kardashian. Robert Houghton was also not in the picture, having disappeared from Kris's life after divorcing her mother when she was just 7, leaving her mother to raise Kris and her younger sister, Karen. Okay. That brought Kris and Mary Jo closer, and by the time she was 16, the ladies began spending their weekends together at the Rancho La Costa. Oh, it's more. We're just getting started. Now, Kris's best friend says that by her final year at Claremont High School, Kris had left her behind and forged a new friendship with a popular cheerleader who had just graduated from school. Her name was Debbie Mungle. The two became so close that they decided to take off for Hawaii after Kris graduated. And it was not long after that they arrived that Kris snagged herself a man with a bit of fame and fortune. That was the beginning. Kris, who was only still 17, began dating professional golfer Cesar Sanadu, who at 28 was more than a decade older than Kris, who had just graduated high school. Okay, now, the two met at the Hawaiian Open in 1973, and according to Sando's daughter, her father had no idea he was actually dating a teenager. He told me she told him he was 21. She was 21, but she was also only 17 or just about to turn 18. He said she lied about so many things and didn't really talk about where she came from, about who her real father was, and details like that. Well, I think we cracked the code for why Kris and Corey Gamble are so cool. Nobody knows where Corey's from. Everybody thinks Corey's the CIA. And look, Kris spent her life conning people the same thing. They are twin souls, baby. She wanted to be mature and be a golf groupie and try to find a man who had money. And the whole thing is just to climb the ladder, try to find somebody who was going to get her where she needed to be, wherever that was. Apple don't fall, apple tree. Kris was traveling the world with Caesar by the next year as she followed him on tour. When she skipped out on tournaments, she would stay at his San Diego home. Now, here's where things get grimy. Then, soon after she turned 19, Caesar popped the question. Kris said yes. It was around that same time that Kris also met Robert Kardashian, an Armenian lawyer, quickly took a shine to the teenager. Kris was still focused on Xanadu, however, and says they were almost married in Great Britain during the 1975 Open. The wedding was not to be, however, nor was the engagement, with Kris slowly growing closer and closer to Robert when she finally decided to go out on a date with him while Caesar was out of town. After dinner and a few sodas, it was back to Caesar's pad for a little post-movie magic. Kris Clinton, now this is Kris out of her own words, claimed in a 2011 memoir that she and Robert were messing around and heading in the direction of some major hanky-panky, okay? Thank God we had our clothes on. Kris said of the still to be highly devout couple. Caesar says that it was very clear in his version of events, telling all his friends, I was out of town and I came home and caught Kris and Robert Sr. Kardashian in bed. This was the cleaned up retelling of the story, with an unnamed friend later adding that he was told, I found that B in bed with that sleazy, he made a racial slur. I could have killed the MFer. Now, the daughter also dismissed Kris's claims that the golfer ever cheated on her, with the guy adding that her dad was very, very hurt by what Kris did and pretty messed up about it for a long, long time. He also claims that Kris left with some very expensive tokens when she got kicked to the curb for adulterous ways. My dad had gold bullion, gold coins, and one day, a couple of weeks after Kris left, my dad went to look for them and they were gone. Sometime later, he said he had run into Kris's mom and saw that she was wearing a bracelet that had 3 gold coins on it, and my dad thought they were from his collection. Now, Caesar also told the same story to his brother Rudy, and according to the daughter, even called Kris a number of times to accuse her of stealing his pricey collection of golden treasures and demanding their return. Now, Kris eventually married Robert in 1978. They went on to have 4 children, right? They were wealthy, had great friends, were living the high life in Beverly Hills, but Kris could not control her cheating ways. Robert Kardashian got his karma for sleeping with a fiance of another man in the form of a personal trainer named Todd Waterman. And their secret romp, she picked the home gym of her husband's best friend, Larry Cranes. Kris would claim she was working out there on most afternoons, but Larry was forced to confront her and caught her in the act after being told by his housekeeper that they were doing something bad, and it was very quiet down there in the gym. Larry says he wasn't the one that told Robert, right? And Kris never actually admitted to the affair even after he caught her in the act. He gave up the secret, however, when Robert Kardashian himself asked his friend if he knew about Kris's relationship with Todd, calling it effing BS. Larry says Robert also revealed that he had confronted the man, at which point Kris told Larry and his wife, Joyce, that she regretted her decision. Kris then continued having an affair with Todd the whole time. Y'all, there's even more dirt about Kris. But once you hear about even her beginnings, Khloe is Kris's karma. Khloe is dating her mom in Man Farm. On top of that, all the Kardashians got their game from Kris. Baby, they pimp by blood, not relation. Y'all, BJ song. Kris just replaces them. Y'all, what y'all think of this? Let me know if you want to hear even more about Kris's hijinks. But I told y'all. And for all the people in my comments, there's the comments straight. And if you want it even more, baby, I am not a kindergarten reading teacher. Go get the book. But let me know if y'all want me to break it down the way I break things down. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.